Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pixel Classroom podcast, which are a wonderful little place in here today. We're going to do a book review on elevating educational design with AI, making learning accessible, inclusive, and of course, Equitable by Catlin R. Tucker and, of course, Katie Novak. So, of course, as you all know, I am, of course, Ryan Reed. I am the host of Pixel Classroom Podcast. So, I was joining us on the live stream this morning. Thank you for tuning on in here and everything. And I'm hoping to do it. I haven't done a book review in a few weeks. I've decided to get some more here. I've caught up on my reading the last couple of months. So, I've looked very forward to getting this done. So, we're going to, of course, talk about that here with the elevating little parts on that, too. So, of course, I will get my little part on that here as we get everything ready about this book and everything. As you can see here on the live stream, those in the audios, I have my wonderful tabs. I've gone between yellow and green for two reasons. Number one, I ran out of yellow tabs, so I had to switch to green, but I actually still color coordinate them too. My yellow is, of course, features and that really gets talked a lot about in the book by both Caitlin and Katie. And of course, my green is something I could start today. So I'm going to talk about some of my favorite parts of the book here. And of course, talk about some things you should do. And of course, a finally a little evaluation. So I'm going to put that and talk about one of our pieces here with evaluating education design for AI. So, as many people know, really working quite a bit here, and this is, of course, off Novak Education. So, Katie's website that I'm showing right now in the live stream. So I've read the previous ones with UDL. I have used UDL. I know UDL, Universal Design Learning, can go many ways depending on subject matters, schools, and grade levels. So I've really worked with UDL for quite a bit, even before it was actually something known. So I've kind of enjoyed using that. And I do like how it breaks down for everything. Because, like I said, we try to talk about universal design, but one thing that people always says, yeah, but our learners are always different. And that's very, very true. But I do like it using it as a guided path and everything. As many know too, I have, of course, my things with my different AI books and my instructional coaching. I have my certification in instructional coaching. I actually sit on the committee for AI and education for my current school district. So, this is a book that I really worked over. So I really like it right here for the thing. It really works. It streamlines workflows about how it can work with the book, personalized learning experience, leverage AI to enhance and not as a role as an educator, which of course many people always wonder about that, about how that really works for things. So I mean, it's always talked about like, Ryan, I mean, AI has its issues and so forth, which is true. It's just like any other tool, it has those problems and stuff. And some parts that really hit me really wonderful here, like especially from the book here, which I have tabbed perfectly is, of course, the inversion for the divine path. Using Tucker and David's learning philosophy. Those are in the live stream. But the learning path is, develop resistance for learners, receive personal instruction support, access equitable learning experiences, and achieve a desired results. And I really like how the book is laid out by everything. There's also some really great here for some lesson plans model, and there's a really good here of poetry lessons that is set up really good here about how you do between the path and the student work, such as how they did it and then the options for it. It really has a good thing. I really like how there's a lot of keyword alerts because there are some vocabularies even experienced teachers might not know about, like educational standards we know, which is learning goals and benchmarks established for authorities, learning objective, detail, actionable goals, individual lessons that break down desired results to a series of smaller learning goals. Something that has hit me, it depends on the district. My last district, they always wanted to have the learning goals and they wanted them popped up every single time. My current district wants them there in the lesson plan designs, but I don't need to be fashioning them all up on the board. I have my big sign of the agenda is more of like, what are the kids going to use to? And I really like how that is. And I really like right here with unpacking standards. How can AI help educators unpack standards? And this is on page 89. Tackle problem on too much to cover. Well, you can break down the standard to key components. What conceptual knowledge, method, process embedded? What are core concepts for essential skills to learn? Insert whatever standard that is. I teach technology robotics. I can use ISTE standards, but there's not really actually standards in my field as much. I mean, there's technology standards, but believe it or not, when you look at STEM and even robotics technology, our standards kind of vary and we kind of have to pick and choose what our goals are depending on that design. I really do like how people can use anything from, Chat GPT to Magic School AI, which I'm a big fan of the AI here, especially for evidence and everything. Also, how to do assessment bases here, like criteria, which is on page 109. Identify and understand the essential questions. They can identify what the essential questions. So my thing is essential questions is example, how does work experience help you build a resume? And I can pop that right into there, and it can give me like, here's how your essential question can be worded, and then you can tailor it for your grade level and kind of go from there about hitting bullet points and creating rubrics. One thing about me is I've used AI for a lot of lesson plan updates as well as breakdowns for lesson plans. It's been really better than me sitting there trying to redo 91s, or if you are in a resource like Teacher Pay Teachers, or you've had one from previous teachers, how to update in curriculum. And that's one thing AI can really work with too. And I do really like how Katie and Caitlin kind of break this all down in the book. And right here, especially here on 202, how she even talks about they talk about the AI integration, about what is the goal of AI. It's the final stage of design process. It's not, it doesn't really start it. You can say, hey, I'm going to create a lesson. I want students to be able to program a robot to do a food truck working on a type of CTE in an eighth grade level style. The AI says, here's some key points, here's some learning lessons you can do, and here's how you can break that down in rubric. Then you kind of have to design it from there. So it's saving you time. I mean, one thing I did too when I was doing presentations as a CTE teacher a couple of years ago, when I was first doing some early AI work, one of my questions was like, I would like a PowerPoint presentation done in either in Google Slides about, explaining, about how doing an entrepreneur of their picking, whether it was a local entrepreneur, a well-known one, a current one. And it kind of broke it down like slide one, do this, slide two, do this, and so forth. It saved me so much time. It was very simple to copy and paste it into a Canva or a Google Slides lesson as a template. And then me, of course, create a design piece instead of me writing the whole thing. In Canva, I've used it to help design logos for me, save me time for design, as well as look for things I can't really find, or even of course explanations for like using magic right. I really love using magic right when it really updates my words and everything else too. So it's a great little piece. But a lot of people say, well, Ryan, what is the part here? You've gone bits and pieces, but why should I pick up elevating education design with AI? No, I'm going to use AI, or yes, it's the buzzword right now, it's the next Google. How do I do it? And this really helps with the guy. I mean, I've gotten a lot of one, including AI for Educators by Mitt Millar. Yes, it's another DBC here. I mean, this book is off the IM Press piece too. I know George is probably listening to me right now here saying, well, Ryan, you're doing all those parts and everything too. But it's got that piece on everything. But I really liked it because I think it's really thing. It's right here in the back here. An era with AI is rapidly reshaping our world. Some educators feel apprehensive about integrating into the practice. And while the focus on humans being behind the ideas, AI generated lessons can end up perpetuating one size fits all learning experiences. As I said, UDLs, people kind of go back and forth on because they say, all our learners are different. How can you be universal in that design? And this book really breaks it down. It's really good. I love the examples in it. I mean, I'm currently writing my own book, no publisher, but I'm out there trying to do it. And I look about how they set this up, very similar to, and it really helps really think about breaking those lesson downs. Look at the keyword. If I look right here, page Y19 about creating, using next generation science rubrics, which I do use. I love NGSS, next generation science standards, about what is the beginning, developing proficient and mastery of this, and about how it works for group behavior. Something I have a lot of problems with for a couple years is group work. Excuse me. And how I can design it. And I just like how it does about using the strong pedagogic practices for student agency, how to use motivation, how to do integration. I mean, if you think about this, it shows how AI can help you with your lesson plan. It's not having you replace them. And I think that's something that is badly needed, and also some things people get wrong. There are dangers to AI, both for teachers and students and for personal use, but there's also so much you can use to enhance your pieces on it. And this book really, really helps with that. So I'm really glad this book is out. I really enjoyed it. I think it worked very well on what were the goods and pieces on that. And I think this is a book that you should check out if you haven't before. If you've read any of Kate and Caitlin's other books, this really kind of goes synergy too. But everybody's going to be different. The truth is, just like anything else with technology, AI is a tool. How you use it and how you do it to better your practice as well as student learning processes is why you should read this book. I really enjoy it. I thought it was a really one. And, I got to give it the old full four-star treatments. I kind of have to because sadly, I can't grade these on Amazon or book or Barnes and Noble or any other platforms. That's how it is. That's why I have to grade them like this. I think Caitlin and Katie have done a really good job with this book. I'm really glad they wrote it. I'm glad I picked it up. I'm going to be using it myself for my lessons as well as my community assessments too, as well as I do go to it when I'm updating lessons or using AI as I'm trying to practice more AI use with some of my students, which is something that's going to be happening going down the road, whether I remain in the classroom the next couple of years or go into an instructional coach role, which has still been my goal for quite a number of years. So I'm hoping to continue that. So if you have thought about picking up this book, please do. It is a good book. Caitlin, Katie, thank you so much for writing this. George, Dave, thank you for another one. Tara, this was another great book. I'm so happy I picked this up. Great job. And if you want more, think about doing it. And if you like what you like to hear here, think about liking or subscribing here to either the live stream channels or, of course, making sure onto the podcast. I have another book review coming up next month. I think a lot of people are going to want to as student management and behavior. And I'm, of course, get ready as we move towards the big 200th episode in April. So I might not be on as many episodes here in the next month due to lifestyles and some other personal things I have going on right now. But I think everybody who has supported me on the channel for this for the last 6 years now, it's hard to believe, and everybody has liked and subscribed. And I do want to thank everybody to DBC and I Impress people to putting out these books. They are great. Thank you for educators like me who have worked in it. And if you want any more, guys, go ahead and download the whole transcript for this episode and definitely think about sharing it on that too. So, on that note, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this book review on, of course, elevating education design with AI. And I hope to see everybody again later.